Today we have none other than Mark Davison from Steelers Nation Australia and Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate and Behind the Steel Curtain. On the show, we're previewing the upcoming game against the Cincinatti Bengals. We're talking about the offseason. We're talking about the most recent news with the starting quarterback of Mitch Trubisky and the announcement from Art Rooney II of the immaculate celebration that will be occurring during the Week 16 during the Week 16 of the season, when the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Las Vegas Raiders in celebration of the Immaculate Reception and the retirement of Franco Harris's number 32 number. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to hit to 1,000 subs. We're just over halfway there. I would appreciate it if you guys would smash that subscribe button and share this content with your friends and family who enjoy Steelers content. With that being said, guys, I'm Daniel J. This is State of the Steelers, and welcome to the Huddle. Mark Davison, how's it going? Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey mate, you caught me off guard. I was looking at the old Steelers versus Bengals gamecast. We're going right now, are we?
We're ready. We're live in action, bro. Live in action.
So, I'm on.
Yeah, you're good. Yep. You're good. We're good. So, the wait is finally here. The wait is over. The start of the 2022 season, first week, officially begins. And it started off with a press conference with Mike Tomlin putting in and basically saying once and for all who his QB1 is and Mitch Trubisky. What were your thoughts and opinions on that decision?
The best thing I found out from that press conference when someone asked a question and said, "Will you be dressing the third quarterback?" And he went, "No."
That's true.
I love his answer, man. I love his answer. So my thoughts are, I thought it was going to be Trubisky. I was actually right for one day. Our last podcast on Steel Australia, I said it was going to be Trubisky, Rudolph, and then Kenny Pickett. And I reckon I'm pretty sure they did this on purpose. There's no way that they missed it. There's no way in the Steelers universe that every single person in the office went, "Oh, it was actually meant to be Trubisky, Rudolph, and Pickett." The people would have read over that a million times. I got a feeling they did it to maybe spark controversy, maybe sell jerseys, maybe get people talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Because even Tomlin said it with a smile as well, but it doesn't matter. Like, I think what the people were missing the point was, number one is the number one thing is the quarterback, which is number one, in my opinion. So let's rally behind Trubisky. However, now that Pickett's behind him, we all know what's going to happen. The minute that he struggles, they'll be calling for Kenny's name. And I'm talking the actual minute. Like if it's 13 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, the Steelers go 3 and out, every single person, or a lot of people in Steelers Nation will be saying, "Can we bring on Kenny Pickett?" It's just going to happen, right? I don't know.
You see, that's why I thought that maybe Mason would be the number 2, because I don't think anybody in Steel Nation will be chanting for Rudy to come in the game if Mr. Trubisky starts to struggle. But one thing though that would attest to Mike Tomlin's statement saying that it was a cut and paste error was the fact that John LeGlue was on the original depth chart as well, and he's not on the second one.
Really?
Yes, sir. He was listed. Yeah, he was listed behind James Daniels, and on the newest one, he's not listed on the depth chart. Period. I think he's on the practice squad.
Right. So there was oversight. So all the fans missed that. We were too distracted by the Rudolph controversy at 2, and they pretty much they sent out the same one.
Right. And so
that makes sense. That makes sense.
But then again, do you think that maybe perhaps because Mike Tomlin has been having a lot of fun with this year, playing with the media, playing with the fan base.
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was done on purpose. He wanted to laugh in that moment. You could tell in the press conference, for those who hadn't seen it, Tomlin was all smiles when asked about the cut and paste incident.
I'll put it this way: if I'm Tomlin and I have a quarterbacks meeting, I have Trubisky, Rudolph, and Kenny Pickett, and we're all mates, and we all know the goal is. And Tomlin knows, like he says to everyone, "By the way, it's 1, 2, and 3. It won't change." There's going to be a slight element of, "Hey, fellas, do you want to try and mess around with the media?" Because you saw what they did this year with Franco Harris, right?
Yeah.
Franco Harris was the schedule thing was fantastic. Did you see that video?
I did. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
you watched the video. I thought it was a fantastic piece of work. You watch the video, and then when you make it to the whole way of the video, and by the way, at the very end of this video, look out because Daniel's got something for you. Look under your chairs. Look under your chairs. You got a prize. But when you make it to the whole way to the end of the video, right? Franco tells you to go to his Twitter. And what's on his Twitter? The schedule. And that schedule had been sitting on his Twitter for like 10 minutes, right? So you had to watch the video, and then you went all the way to Franco, and then go to Franco's Twitter. So it wouldn't surprise me if Tomlin knew, once you know something 100%, of course you can fool the public and have a bit of fun. Why not? So it wouldn't surprise me if he did that way. And it tells me that he's comfortable. And I know some fans don't want him to be comfortable, but you do. He wants to be comfortable and fun. And I think there's a lot of pressure on Trubisky, I think, but that's more or less from the fans. Let's see, take our fan hat off and watch the game from start to finish. However, we will, the minute he throws a bad pass, Kenny.
I think the Kenny chants, you can still hear him echoing out of Acrisure. And so, with that being said, were you okay with the backup position now changing? I know yesterday you were pretty hyped on how you called it. 24 hours later, it's changed.
I'm just happy I got it right. Like I said to you 11 days ago, it was going to be Trubisky, Rudolph, and then Kenny. I was like, I don't care who plays. I really don't. But I'm just happy I got it right. Not too many times I get something right in this business, in this idea of content creation and Steelers podcast. So I was like, hey, I got it right. And now I got it wrong.
I think there was some interesting takes out of Mike Tomlin when he was talking on the press conference in reference to it. He stated that it was in-game advanced development from Kenny Pickett that catapulted him into the second positioning there in the depth chart. And what he said was that he would believe that there's still room for him to continue that trajectory, leading me to believe that he's leaving the door open for him to be a QB1 at some point in the season. I don't, like I said before, I don't think the Steelers plan to fail or go in there with a design for failure. However, I think they got a pretty good option at number 2. But their big first challenge comes this week against the Cincinnati Bengals. It's a division foe. It's on the road. It's in enemy territory. The Steelers are not favored in this game. I think there's a 6.5 point spread. Do you think the Steelers are kind of being overlooked, or do you find that accurate?
Nah, like in reality, if I take off my Steelers fan cap, I think it deserves to have the Bengals be the favorite with the 6.5, almost a touchdown, right? So,
correct.
They made it to the Super Bowl. Yes, they did lose, and thank goodness they lost 0-3. I never want to see them win. They have a good team. They have Burrow. They have exciting receivers, a good O-line, good running back in Mixon. And we'll talk about some other stuff too. But overall, in a nutshell, I think they should be favorite. If they weren't favorite, I'd be really worried about the Bengals season. If they're not favorite in this game, then that's just telling. That would say to the NFL that the Bengals are going to have a really bad season. So, but they shouldn't discount what the Steelers have done. We've had a really good offseason as well. Omar Khan has made some good moves. Omar Khan has brought in Ogunjobi, Miles Jack, signed Minka. Things like that, right? He's really got after it and thought, well, how do I transition from the Big Ben era? We went and signed Kenny Pickett. Trubisky is going to be there. And this is a big test, I think, as well. We're forgetting about, forget about Kenny Pickett for a second. Right? He's backup quarterback, right? And we have Trubisky. So I think even if Trubisky, if he were to play really bad 3 quarters, I don't think we see Kenny Pickett. I think we see him play the whole game. Unless he's throwing 5 interceptions or something like that, really terrible, then you would take him out because he's off his game. But I think we've got to see what we have with Trubisky. If there's no Kenny Pickett in this game, it's now Trubisky. He's the captain. For the first time, I think 1960s or something it was. Or someone can quote me in the comments below if they find out. It was 1960s, and the first time a Steeler has chosen a captain that has played for the first year with the team. So that's exciting, right? Yeah. And he is coming into he's still Trubisky from the Bears. He's still Trubisky from the Bills. And we've only seen him in preseason. And now it's can Trubisky become a Steeler? And then now there's this overwhelming cloud of Kenny Pickett around him all the time now. And I think for a fan base, we kind of have to shake that a little bit to give him support. If you're going into I'll be honest, if you're going into Heinz Field whatever we call it now, Acrisure Stadium, and you're chanting Kenny, Kenny, Kenny. Imagine the guy's psyche when he's trying to play the Patriots, trying to win. It won't help. It won't help. Won't help the narrative.
I agree 100%. I actually wrote an article for BehindTheSteelCurtain.com. It just came out a couple of days ago. Are Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers setting up Mitch Trubisky for failure? Now, with this whole playing with the media and the fan base on who the starting quarterback is, you're absolutely right. There has been, a lot of a balloon, so to speak, being built for Kenny Pickett that was deflated when the announcement was Mitch Trubisky. And so, with that being said, don't you think that it would have been maybe a little bit better for Mitch Trubisky had the Pittsburgh Steelers announced him the starting quarterback earlier so that the fan base can fall behind him?
Well, it would have been better if they didn't go and sign a Kenny Pickett, to be honest, because the idea now is a lot of Steelers fans out there are saying, well, we're just using Trubisky as a bridge guy. But What if he succeeds? What if Trubisky is a really good quarterback in this system and goes out there and absolutely plays fantastic football, leads us to a playoff win? Then you have a decision to make. Do you then continue to go with Trubisky or bring in Kenny Pickett? So I think he has a shelf life, but it's like I don't think he needs to have a shelf life until he goes really bad. The whole scenario is kind of crazy. You brought in 3 quarterbacks this offseason. You didn't go with Mason. Mason's now 3rd, right? And Kenny Pickett is 2nd, and people wanted to start, which I do too. I think it'd be fun to watch. He looks like the better quarterback. So I might be in the same boat with Trubisky struggles 3 or 4 games, then change. So, but I do trust the organization, what they're going to do, and I still think it's going to be more of a Najee show. Also, Jalen Warren too got his second running back. So let's applaud that. Steven Sims is in there too. I've been speaking about him a lot. Like those kind of guys are there on the Steelers roster, and it's just I think whoever's quarterback number 1, we have to cheer for no matter what. And then if he does play poorly, then wait until the coaches decide. But I don't want to see Pickett because we're 2-6. Do you want to be 2-6? I don't.
No, not at all. Not at all. But, the first test is going to be this week against the Bengals. What do you think that Mitch Trubisky is going to have to do to overcome the Cincinnati defense?
Stay upright. In reality, this defense is crazy, right? You've got the Hilton, the Bell, the safety. I like their secondary. I think it's let me read his name. Hang on, I had it before. I can't pronounce his name. Awuzie, is it? Awuzie.
Oh, yeah.
Chidobe Awuzie, the cornerback. Jesse Bates, safety's really good. Bell. Dax Hill is the new safety. Don't know much about him, but I've heard good things via reports. The defensive line, Hendricks, those fellas, and Hubbard and DJ Reader, they're all big men. This team, I said it 2 years ago, they're young and they're angry. And they're still angry because they haven't won a Super Bowl. They're playing in – it's like this team has got a new, breath of fresh air. Right? For so many years, it was the Bengals were terrible. But now they're a good team. I'm not saying they're like the Ravens, but they're a good team. And who's the one struggling right now? It is the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're the ones struggling. Right. Haven't won back-to-back playoff games. Haven't done this. Yes, we never had a losing season, and I do applaud that. But right now, the hot ticket is the Bengals, and Trubisky versus these guys. It's going to be a challenge, man. Like it will be a challenge if you got to keep if they can't keep him upright and give him time to develop the routes where you're going to DJ, you're going to other blokes, and they can't get the ball moving. The offensive line will be very key. As easy as the answer that is to say, offensive line will be so key to this game. If you can't keep him upright and you're getting sacked, you're getting 2nd and 14, 2nd and 15s. We know the Steelers can't convert those. Once you're behind, they rarely come back like a Mahomes and do something crazy. Once they're behind the sticks, the drive's over pretty much. And we saw that with Big Ben.
Right. I mean, there was a few comeback drives last year that were pretty amazing, and he had quite a few that almost came through. But the thing is, even with that, Ben's not going to be on the team anymore to pull out the heroics, so to speak. However,
he's got a podcast though. Have you seen his
podcast?
Yeah,
he does. I have. I enjoyed it.
For Barlin, he looked like 7K subs in a day.
That's what happens when you're a 2-time Super Bowl winning champion.
Yeah, that's it.
And so, what is a stat that you have to see that's going to ensure either victory or defeat? Is it going to be the turnover battle, or is it going to be the sacks? What do the Steelers have to win to ensure that victory or defeat?
You know what? I would say I think we need more turnovers than so we'd have to have more turnovers than us turning the football over. I think if we don't turn the football over, I still think going head to head with Joe Burrow is going to be very hard, right?
Right.
So we need to turn that football over at least once or twice and take opportunity with that and score points. This is going to be this is a very hard game when you think about it, because they can score points. They could easily score 30, 35 points with Joe Burrow running down the field. They could go up 21 points at the halftime, and we might have 10, right? And then next, and then 28, 10, 30. They could easily get away from us so fast. So I would say defensively pressure Joe Burrow in that offense, make them make mistakes, third and outs and turnovers, hang in the game there and see what can happen. But there is a lot of pressure, I think, on this whole team, the Steelers, and we are the underdog, right? I've got them winning this game because I want to, I have to, and I would see them. Are you doing score predictions later?
I'm doing one at the end of the week. I was going to ask you if you wanted to do yours or if you wanted to just give a prediction on who wins the game, whichever you feel more comfortable with.
I think if we're going to win this game, I think it's going to be 23-21. Like something like that. I think it's that close. I think it's Chris Boswell field goal with 2 minutes to go or 1 minute to go. That's how close it is.
So you're taking the Steelers on the bet as well.
I probably shouldn't. I should be going, the Bengals winning 35 to us struggling like 20, 17, right? To be realistic. But for my Steeler head, I want to see 23-21. Nice, and that's really hard to say because this Steeler team is new. It's the offensive line is awful at the moment. We're relying on Najee, relying on these guys. Trubisky's first game with the Steelers away in Cincinnati. That's super hard, right? All these elements together. But the big question is, too, there is a lot of pressure now on the Bengals because look at everyone saying, every NFL analyst is saying they're going to win.
Right.
And if the Steelers can treat this game like they treated the Bills last year, then we have a chance. However, with the Bills, Miles Killebrew did help us save that game too. So we need Miles. The point is, we need Miles Killebrew to go out there and get a punt block.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we're going to need this upcoming game if we're going to ensure victory. With that being said, Mark, we're coming a little bit close to the end on this. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, so I'm more or less on YouTube a lot. So and I never leave this room. So I'm on Steeler Nation Australia. Do quite a lot of videos on there. I'm on the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate on YouTube as well, and I do Steelers Touchdown Under on BTSC. And my mate here, Daniel, has got to write them all out for me because I've got a bio.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Fortunately for me, I have it saved on a notepad, so I can just copy and paste, so that way I don't develop.
Man. Is this guy? What's he doing over there?
That way I don't develop carpal tunnel syndrome or anything. I have it copied and pasted on a side note.
I haven't asked you, but I guess I'll be doing. What did I just say? I sound like Jordan Madden. What did I just say? I guess I'm having you on my podcast too in the next few days or whatever. So we'll be recording one too. But what are your a small snippet of thoughts about this game? We have a chance, right? But I'm so nervous.
I think. And I'll go more into detail on your channel. So just to give everybody a reason to go out and follow and subscribe on Mark's channel so you can see a little bit more detail of what my explanation is here. But my thing is, as far under the radar we are flying, the Cincinnati Bengals are in the opposite end as being overrated, in my opinion. And I think there's going to be a hard fall to reality this season for the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they fall to the I'll say this. I'll say the Steelers are going to win this game, and I'll go into detail more about why I think the Bengals are going to fail this year on your channel.
You just gave me a perfect idea for a title. Are the Cincinnati Bengals overrated?
Oh, I believe so.
Let's talk about that in 4 weeks' time. No, I'm joking.
Nah, we I'll do it now. It's a hot take. That way we can go back just like your roster prediction.
I was right for 1 day, and then Mike Tomlin was like, Yeah, it's Kenny Pickett. You know.
There it is. With that being said, guys, I'm Daniel J. This is Mark Davison, State of the Steelers. Peace.